Hey there, Samuel Larsen here. I'm a consultant for multiple 8 and 9 figure e-commerce brands, and today I wanted to share a little bit of their so-called secrets and how they made it that far with their businesses. Now, on a beginner level, beginner intermediate level, I'd say there's way too much focus on the initial sales and too little focus on the second, third, fourth sale, building a relationship, etc. So everybody's playing this short-term game, just trying to survive. But the thing that nobody really talks about is that in e-commerce, it really comes down to just two simple things. Having a customer acquisition cost that is lower than the customer lifetime value cost. And if you can have that and have a relatively quick cycle where people are returning that money that you spend to customer acquisition with the lifetime value relatively fast, then you can scale really quickly. Now, customer acquisition cost, CLV, those are the two key concepts. If you don't have a CLV that is higher than the average or the customer acquisition cost, you don't make any money. So just keep watching the video. I'm gonna share with you how to think this through, and also a powerful new mindset that allows you to maximize your long-term profitability from basically every single order that you get. Alright, so knowing that the customer acquisition costs need to be lower than the customer lifetime value, this leaves us with two obvious options, right? So we can either lower our customer acquisition costs without impacting the customer lifetime value, or up the customer lifetime value without impacting the customer acquisition cost. In real world, they do play a little bit of hand to hand. So in a market where everybody's ROAS bidding, or return on ad spend bidding, for example, they tend to have a very synchronized relationship. But the basic idea is that. And that's also why I hate the term CRO, because we are not exactly optimizing for the conversion, but we are optimizing for the long-term profitability of that visitor or a customer lifetime value of that visitor. So in reality, I would much rather have a lower conversion rate and get the whale customers. The whale customers are the kind of customers that buy big, buy often, and are loyal to your brand. Then I would have a higher conversion rate, but people just buying once. So it's not really the conversion rate that matters. It is getting the right buyers, and then also having those buy again and again. So that's what we're optimizing for, and that's really the difference between a beginner type of person and a really advanced e-commerce marketer. Now, the annoying thing with e-commerce, and really any business, is that the new customer acquisition tends to be very expensive. And the secret that nobody really wants to talk about is that the first order is often either unprofitable or really at best break even. So a lot of the actual profit is made from these great customers, the whale customers who buy big, come back multiple times. And if you are focusing on your marketing on just that initial conversion level, you are most likely not optimizing for these customers. So that's why it's not conversion optimization, it's really customer optimization. And this is pretty tied to the old online marketing tripwire conversion concept, where you would offer, let's say, a $7 mini course, just an example. And then you get people to pull out their credit card. You get them to identify as a buyer, and afterwards it will be a lot easier to sell to them. In e-commerce, this is a little bit different and more difficult because the shipping takes time, and of course you'll have your variable costs. So every little sample you even sell will need to be shipped, and you'll have the product costs. Where in a typical information business, that variable cost would be almost zero. But you can still try and use this successfully if you have a newer product that people don't really trust. So the same principle still works. You just need some kind of software conversion. So in e-commerce, this could be a newsletter, this could be a sample, this could be an ebook even that is related to that. And then you can start to engage with those potential customers and start building a relationship so that those higher average order value orders can come in. So obviously there's a formula for great business, and ideally if I were to buy a business, I would love it to get a lot of conversions, so a lot of customers from first-time visitors, then have them pay very good margins. So not only get high revenue, but get high revenue with good margins. And then obviously it would be nice if they come back infinitely. So that would be the frequency part. So there's 3 parts: initial conversions, average order value, and frequency of purchase. That would be the great business, the perfect business. Now, let's take an example of a business that is near perfect and contrast that to a business that is anything but perfect. So how would you achieve a perfect business? So here's an example. You'd want unique products with high margins and either a need or a want to have these products or regular replacements. So there's an ongoing element there with good profits and a differentiating element to help you avoid competition. So for example, a subscription model for e-commerce business to business would be great because business to business is an ongoing thing. They have higher average order values and they often require replacements. But another one that you probably know a little bit better is Apple. Apple in many ways is a perfect business. It's a differentiated business where people buy often and for good margins. If you look at their stock price for the last year, you can see why the stock price has just gone up and up and up. It's these dynamics are in place, and when they come together in sync, it can just explode in a positive way. Now, I want to look at the opposite. A non-perfect business that has low margins, high customer acquisition costs, and is not really differentiated in any way. So let's take a non-branded e-commerce and or slash dropshipping as an example. So dropshipping is a model that instantly, almost by definition, opens you up for pretty brutal competition. And this is because once you start getting success, everybody will start copying you. And typically, unless you have very good deals with the manufacturers, anyone can get those exact same products. So that will lead to high competition and low conversions because you are basically selling what everybody else is selling. This is on a longer term basis. So it's not a sustainable business. Second thing is people don't really care about you. If they can get the same product from anywhere else, they especially don't care about if your order takes 4 weeks to deliver. Like, how could they become loyal customers? So that also is like low frequency. There's nothing special about this. There's nothing that would really be exceptional. And generally, because just like everybody else, there's going to be lower trust, and that's going to lead to lower average order value, and since you're having to compete a bit on price, because these are products that anybody can shop, anybody can research quickly, that will lead to low margins and in general lower average order value. So, unlike the perfect business, Apple, you haven't built any kind of moat or protection around your business, and it's completely at mercy of external forces and competition. So many suppliers, for example, might seem like a good thing initially, but it has a flip side. And also these products are often trendy, and that might seem like a good thing, but all trends die eventually. So that is putting yourself in a pretty bad position. Now, of course, everybody needs to start somewhere. So that's perhaps a place that you're forced to start. But instead of focusing on those initial sales, you can take the principles from this video and focus more on building lists and focus more on building relationships. And then you have something for the long term. It's not even necessarily detriment of sales, because you can then push higher average order value products, and in many ways it can be to the benefit of them. So if you're thinking it's going to be detrimental to your sales, it probably means that your average order value is simply too low, because you cannot afford to build a list and go a little bit premium. So that's it. 3 things to take care and take out of this video. Just remember the mindset. Optimizing for multiple orders. Thinking of the second, third, fourth order right away instead of just thinking of the first order. Look for products that are complementary, that you can start thinking of, okay, this is the natural progression here from the first order all the way to becoming a great whale customers. Then remember the 3 levers of growing an e-commerce store. Average order value, frequency, conversion rate. Now those are the things that if you grow each one of them by 30%, you double your business instantly. And there's nothing greater than doubling your business instantly. So make sure that you take a thorough look on those things and see if you can, by any small measure even, improve on them. Then the third thing, and probably the most important thing long term, seek to build some kind of moat from external forces in any way you can. Seek to be exceptional in your niche and seek to differentiate yourself from these competitive forces. So that's it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Now make sure to subscribe, because that will lead to you becoming smarter in the future with more great content from me. And then also make sure to ask any questions you have. I'm happy to answer in the comments. Would like to get a little bit of discussion going. If you like it, then just like it. Alright, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.